A house is made of wood and stone, but only love can make a home. Welcome to the RepcoLite Home Improvement Show, helping you make your home into one you'll love even more. On News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday, Haley. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, Dan.
It is the biggest weekend of the year. The pinnacle of the entire year is happening this week. Father's Day.
It's not your birthday. Okay.
Father's Day.
Oh, okay.
Haley, there's a lot of big holidays throughout the year, but Father's Day, that's where my family pulls out all the stops. Cotton candy on the yard.
Your
dunk
kids have never
tanks.
even had cotton candy until I brought it to her.
Well, yeah, but this year we're going. They've got a Ferris wheel set up. It's going to be big time fun. Is that what you're doing for your dad?
Yeah, I'm making a carnival in the yard.
Yeah. We've even got, all the helpers and all the workers coming. It's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of fun. No, we don't have a carnival planned, but we've got all kinds of amazing stuff planned for this episode. It's going to be the Father's Day extravaganza for part of it.
For part of it,
Yeah,
yes.
the whole first half.
Yes, the first half of it.
And then the second half is a bunch of jobs.
Well, it's inspiration.
Well, and then the jobs.
And jobs.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be great for everybody. And right now we're joined in the studio with RepcoLite's own Ryan Mullen, our sales manager. Ryan, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here because you have a new baby in the house. And we thought, what says Father's Day more than a new baby in the house?
Right?
Yeah, the third child.
Yeah. When did the new baby arrive?
May 27th.
All right, you're going to have to write that down because I have been notorious at forgetting all of those dates. So make sure you don't do that. You should get a tattoo or something.
I will do that.
Then you'll know. Yeah.
For all three of them.
For all three of them. Yeah, so tell me more. You've got 3 kids.
Yep, I have a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and then the newborn.
All right.
So, and it's going good. That's the last one, though. We both agree on that.
All right.
That is definitely the last one.
Last one.
Yep.
So
and we're very
It's
happy.
a good number.
Yeah,
Someone's
for
left
sure.
out, so
Yep.
it's good to have a middle child.
always
Yep,
good.
there you go.
And yes, I've got a middle child. I've got 5. And yes, all the things they say about middle children come true. So you have 3. You have boys, girls.
So I have two older boys, both 6 and 4, and then Hadley is the newborn,
right.
and we finally got our girl.
All right.
Aw,
You think she's
sweet.
going to work out?
I think so.
You think she's going to work? You're not going to send her back?
Yeah, we'll keep her. At this point, we'll keep her.
She dried out a little bit. When they first come out, they're all wrinkly.
Oh, yeah.
She's smoothed out.
Oh, she's
Everything's
smoothed
good?
out. Yeah,
Super
she's looking
fresh.
good.
All right. How about sleeping? How's that going?
She's actually doing really well. She does about a 4-hour clip before she has to eat, which is really
Hey,
nice.
good for her.
Yeah. Yeah, it's made life a lot easier.
Rockstar.
Much better than her brothers.
Any big changes? I mean, we're talking Father's Day stuff, and we're going to get to our recommendations for Father's Day gifts, last-minute Father's Day gifts.
Right.
Which really, this whole thing is all about. It's for my children. In case
How about Dan?
They haven't been talking enough about the gifts, and I
I should
just
have
want to.
consulted with you and tried to figure out what do you want.
Well, I don't even know if they're remembering. So that's what this episode is entirely about. But Father's Day, Ryan, what has changed for you as a person? Let's go really deep here. Since you've had
Right
kids.
on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do as much on the weekends.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
I stay home a lot,
pretty realistic.
which I don't mind. I actually like that. I go to bed earlier,
Yeah.
and I also get up earlier.
Wow.
So less sleep. You do less on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
less,
it's good, but it's-
really.
Yeah. When I say less, though, it's more with the kids, not out and
Right.
about.
And
Right.
that's a huge thing. When I first started having kids, my sisters, babies were their thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was just, they weren't my thing even remotely. Kids weren't my thing. And I had kids, and I thought, oh my goodness, how am I going to handle this? And yeah, once they got past the really breakable stage, and they could fall down and get back up again, and I realized they were all right. The fun that we have had.
Yeah.
So I become more immature. That's what's happened to me.
Well, yeah, I think that's what'll happen to me too. Like, I'm excited to have kids so that I have an excuse to do kid things.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
All the fun toys that I
Yes,
would see
exactly.
that I can't as an adult
Right.
buy.
Like, I can't go and get that for myself because that's ridiculous. But if I have a kid, now I have an excuse.
yeah, we can go do that. There's so many fun things. So yeah, there's all that ahead of you, Ryan. And you're living through some of it right now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
All right, we want to get to Father's Day gifts and recommendations. And then I think Ryan is going to judge which one of the
Yeah,
three of
I
us
think
brought
we'll
the
make you
best.
the
You may
judge.
even choose yourself, Ryan, if you want to be wrong.
I might have to do that.
Okay. But first, let's talk about some paint stuff a minute since you're here. Because as we were getting ready to do this, you were talking about just the product shortages and the struggles right now. And if you've tried to buy paint, if you're a contractor, even homeowners sometimes, it's a struggle across the board. You know, no matter who you are company-wise, paint companies everywhere are struggling to get all the products that they need and get them on the shelf. Now, we've talked about it on the show before, but Ryan, what are you seeing out there right now?
So there are still shortages. The beauty of what we have to offer, though, as a company is we have options, right? Mm-hmm. So we have our product, we have Benjamin Moore, we have PPG, we have Rust-Oleum. So if we don't have the product you came in for, we can usually get you something to finish your
it helps
project.
to be able to pivot.
Right.
Yes.
That's the big thing. We were coming up with some, basically something to take to our contractors at some cookouts that we've got coming up. And we kind of worked out working your way through or navigating the product shortage in the best possible manner. And there were a number of things that we came up with, just some simple things, obvious things, but it will really help. And it's communicating, talking about projects that you've got coming up. If it's
planning ahead.
All right, planning ahead. If it's going to take some product, and a lot of it, make sure you're reaching out to your sales rep if you're a contractor, or even, if you're a contractor, just talk to the folks at any RepcoLite or Port City Paints. Let them know ahead of time and as much time as you can to get them, able to pull those products together. And another thing is being flexible, being willing to adjust. You may not get that ideal product that you were shooting for, but there are great alternatives.
There are, and we'll do our due diligence in trying to find an alternative for you that's suitable for your project.
Well, basically, yeah, you say that, and that really, you're not giving yourself half the credit that I think you deserve on that, because you were describing before you went on air about what a day looks like. And you were just saying, you get there with this plan. I'm going to do this, and this, and then I'm going to go home. And you basically end up often spending the whole day calling everywhere trying to track down products.
Specific products, right?
Yeah, and our customers are the most important people to us, right? Our customers are, we want to make sure that they get their project done, they get it done on time, and they get it done with the quality that they expect. So that's important to us. So yeah, I spend a lot of time trying to track down an alternate source for a product.
And I think we got our reps doing that. The stores are doing that. So when you say due diligence, yeah, you're saying the right thing, but I think it's not as amazing as what you're really doing.
Oh,
and I don't give a lot of compliments, Ryan.
It's true.
It is true, isn't it, Haley? I normally bring the smack down.
This is a hostile work environment, actually.
All right. It's not.
It's not.
I'm a pleasure to work with. Trust me. No, let's get to Father's Day gifts. We've got a little bit of time on this segment. We'll carry it over to the next segment and really explore all the options that I'm bringing to this.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
Because it's a competition, ultimately.
It is. Everything is. I'm really bad at the whole gift thing, but I love to do it because it's a fun exercise in thought. So let's start with just some basic ideas. We're trying to give you ideas that you can run out and get today. Not stuff that you have to order.
Online, yeah.
Right. So Ryan, I didn't give you really great info about what you're supposed to do here.
That is true.
I wanted an in so that at least I can beat you.
Yeah, you sent a text saying, think of 3 things that you'd want for Father's Day. P.S. I'm not going to get you these.
Well, I didn't want you to.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, I didn't want you to come with the wrong idea here. What did you come up with for one of them? I mean, let's start with your most expensive, if you can break it down that way.
Well, none of mine are very expensive. So I would say in either like a local craft beer or a locally produced liquor. I mean, I do have 3 kids, so need a little relaxation sometimes.
I thought it was for the children.
I do have 3 kids.
So we'll need
Takes
3
a lot.
bottles in order to make this happen. All right, that's very good. That's very good.
Easy to get. It's local.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
like
Haley, what was yours?
The most expensive?
I would say so, yeah. Let's start
An
there.
experience. So like going to the batting cages, if you have availability on Sunday to do it, great. Or planning for a future event, like there's a car show coming up next weekend
Where is that?
in Belmont.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay. So an experience like that.
exactly. Or a baseball game, planning a concert in the future. Fred Meyer Gardens has the whole concert series this summer. So that could be a really good opportunity to actually spend a day together.
All right. Well, Mine was different than all of those things because I'm very practical. I don't like to spend money that's just on an experience or
Why do
liquor
that?
or whatever. Right? No, what I would get or ask for that is a one-handed reciprocating saw. It's a tool. So we all know what a Sawzall is, right? You picture that. It's a two-handed thing.
Right.
Well, DeWalt theirs is called an Atomic. It's a one-handed reciprocating saw. Milwaukee has a hacksaw. That's what they call theirs. And I ran into this because my electrician son, Caleb, has snagged one because he sees all the guys on the job site working with it.
Yeah.
And he decided, I need to have one of those. And I thought maybe you'll get the two-handed one because it's bigger. And he said, no, I want this littler one. It's lighter. I can work over my head.
Oh,
and he's cutting everything. I mean, he's cutting anything that a Sawzall can. With the right blades, you can cut through metal. He's cutting pipes, copper, PVC. He's even cut like a 4x4, like a post. 4x4 fence post. And all of that, he comes to the house the other day and I'm trying to bring a table to the thrift store. Big drama in my life. And I'm throwing away other stuff out of my garage and something was too big to fit into my garbage. And I'm trying to bend it and smash it apart on the driveway so it will fit. And Caleb says, Dad, let me show you my favorite tool in the whole wide world. And he pulls this thing out, cuts the thing apart into just a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds. He's got the whole thing sliced apart in the driveway. Threw it away.
Is it on a battery? Corded?
It's on a 20. Well, the DeWalt one, all of them are battery.
Okay.
So the DeWalt one has a 20-volt battery. It's interchangeable between all the other DeWalt hand
pretty
tools.
cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
The different blades. You can use it on anything.
Dan, I think this was a good one. What? Are you
I
just
know
trying
it
to
was-
psych us out?
Yeah, I'm trying to set Ryan up thinking, wow, Dan doesn't think, oh my, Dan's got gold.
That is a pretty cool one. I'll give you that.
It is good. It's about $150, so it's
is
a kingly
expensive.
gift.
Yeah, it is.
But if your father's a kingly man, perhaps he deserves one. So we'll put a link in the show notes. You can check it out. Haley had something. Ryan had something. Dan had gold. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to hit the rest of our list. That's all just ahead. Stay tuned.
Helping you turn your house into your dream home. This is the RepcoLite Home Improvement Show, presented by Benjamin Moore on News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
And we're back, and Haley and I are in the studio with Ryan Mullen, RepcoLite's sales manager, and we're dishing out all kinds of great Father's Day gifts. And then at the end of the show, of the segment, not the show, but the end of the segment, Ryan, you're going to give us
The trophy.
Yeah, the determination of who won the best recommendations. Now, these are recommendations that you can run out and get today. We already went through what we considered the more high-end. If you got some money to spend on Dad, those are the things. Ryan, what's your other gift?
A nice movie gift card so Dad can go to the movies all by himself.
Oh, all by himself.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I wish everybody could see the look in Ryan's eyes. It's a little disturbing. Ryan needs some
really
time alone.
wanted
You got 3 little kids all under the age of 6, right?
Yes.
6 and under.
Yep.
And so that movie time, not you and your wife?
Well, she can come too, but then we'd have to recruit Grandma to watch the boys.
Oh,
and
that's
the,
true.
And the
You
new
do
baby.
need that.
Yep.
All right. So a movie gift card. Do you have something particular that you want to see?
The new Top Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I heard it's good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that. I never cared for the old one. So maybe I'll give it a
kinda
try.
goofy. It's fun.
We'll see once. All right. That's a good one, Ryan. You're new at this.
Well,
I
thank
like
you.
that.
Yeah, thank you.
Haley, what's your middle ground one?
This is one if you want to do something crafty with the kids to give to Dad for Father's Day, and it's needs some explaining, so I'll try to go fast. But essentially, the idea is you'd wet some dirt outside and get a footprint
With water.
Yes.
I've got boys.
Shouldn't even have to
I know,
say that.
I know, but boys will be boys.
Wet some dirt with water so that you have kind of a nice mud, and then make a footprint or a handprint in the ground, and then cast plaster into it, let it dry, and then you've got a little mold, and cast plaster hand or foot to give Dad.
All right. I really like that. That's good, Haley. I'm going to adjust mine because I've got like 27 things. And I'm going to go to what I considered my El Cheapo one,
El Cheapo.
because that's what that was. What you just dished out was just cheap, but cool. It's a cool, that wasn't a criticism. It's inexpensive. It's inexpensive.
Yes.
It's inexpensive. This one is inexpensive and stupid. I have that yard golf game that I made. You helped me kind of put that together.
Yeah.
And we have had so much fun with this. I really think this is a good gift. If your dad likes golf, this was a lot of fun. And it's not what you're thinking. You don't use a club, so, dad's going to be a little frustrated. But I didn't want anybody digging divots out of my yard. So what we did is we bought a bunch of little cones, little sports cones.
Yeah.
Just little orange cones. Like we see all over the place in Michigan. Honestly, if you're sneaky.
Dan.
No, I would never recommend that. No, you just get these little ones. They're cheap. Get them at a sports store. And then you and I kind of searched around on a couple different lunch hours for the right ball. But you kick these balls. I found some foam, and I guess they were just little soccer balls, about 6 inches wide.
Yep.
Not a big ball. It's got to be kind of small, but meaty enough that you can kick it. And you need a Sharpie marker so you can write on each one of these cones what hole it is. But then we create a golf course on our yard, and then tee off. We're kicking the ball, but we'll kick it towards one. You count. Of course, you know how golf works. I don't have to go through all of that. You keep track on an app on your phone, and we play a full 9 holes. One of the apps that I had actually will allow you to set par for whichever course, for
That's
creating
cool.
a course. We did that, and we had a ton of fun on the yard doing that. The kids are all clamoring to get that out again. I bet it cost us $15 total to put that together. But yeah, a ton of fun. You've got all the fun of golf.
Right.
And all of the
soccer.
frustration of golf. Yeah, I'm not a big soccer fan. But
You're kicking a ball.
I know, I'm not very good at it, so that's where the frustration comes in. Ryan, did you have any other? I know you brought 2, you said.
Yeah, that's my best 2.
That was your best 2. Haley, do you have one more?
I have one more. My dad is really into his car, like very pristine.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
it's always super, super clean. People think it's always
wow.
brand new, and it's not.
That's amazing.
So I want to get him a car vacuum because he always goes to the car wash and vacuums it out like once a week. But if he had something in the car, he'd probably love it.
Well, you got to give me more info
So
here.
a car vacuum.
Well, how much is it? How big is it?
Well, they range.
Where does it sit? Does it sit in your car?
Okay,
Is it like a
you gotta
Roomba? I'm
pause.
sorry.
Yeah. Not a robot.
Okay.
It's something that you would power, turn on and vacuum, but they make different ones. Some of them plug into the lighter,
Sure.
socket, but the reviews on those ones aren't great.
No, I've had one. Those
they're
are not
very powerful.
right.
So I would get like a little handheld, cordless, like Dirt Devil or another Bissell, something like that, where it's a little bit more expensive.
Okay.
Now you're into like the $50 range.
Yep.
But they have way better reviews.
Well, the vacuums intrigue me. I like a clean space, and I do enjoy vacuums. I bought a shop vac that hangs on the wall in the garage. Use it for cars, use it for all kinds of stuff.
I like that.
I really like that too. So, my last one, very quickly, a French press. If the dad in your family loves coffee, Haley connected me with this. I didn't know what a French press was. Briefly,
I introduced Dan to good coffee.
Right. It's just a glass canister. It's got a little mesh screen. You put your water and your grounds all together.
Yep.
Let it stew for 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you press it down and you're good to go. You got great coffee. We have not used our regular coffee maker for almost 6 months now.
Wow.
Because we have decided that we like
Fully
this a lot more.
converted to
right.
French press.
We'll make 2 or 3 cups of coffee at a time, which is all we generally need. We're not throwing stuff away. It's better coffee. We're all coffee snobs now. Anyway,
it.
that's a list. There's all kinds of great other ideas out there. Ryan, who wins?
Oh, as much as it pains me to say this, I'm going to go with the saw.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Look at that.
The saw is a good one.
All right.
really good.
I am going to get some kind of trophy or medal, maybe both, produced, and I will wear these and
You don't want a
display them
crown?
proudly. Oh, my goodness. A crown. And the other aforementioned things will be coming my way. Anyway, we hope dads everywhere have a great Father's Day. We're going to take a break. Ryan, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, Haley and I will be back in just a minute trying to inspire you to tackle that next project. That's all just ahead. Stay tuned.
If you want to take your DIY skills up a rung, the RepcoLite Home Improvement Show is here to give you a boost on News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
Well, Haley, in the next segment, we're going to be talking about some curb appeal projects that we think people should tackle. Probably things that we should maybe tackle and look at our home.
Yes, this isn't just pointing fingers.
No, it's not about that at all. I'm pointing fingers back at myself as
Yes.
well. But in order to get ready for that, we kind of took a walk around the neighborhood here and just kind of pointed fingers. at other homes. And
we were getting inspired.
We were getting inspired about projects that we think should be tackled. And honestly, a lot of them were projects that really were pretty simple, and we kind of wondered why hadn't they been tackled. And as we were kind of going through that list, we thought, well, we could honestly go on the radio and give people a big list of things to do, which, of course, we are going to do. That's the next segment.
We will do that.
But there's another topic to address, or at least consider, and it's why aren't we doing some of these things, you know?
Yeah, because I'm sure that, without us giving you a list, all the things that you probably should be doing around the house, interior, exterior, right now.
I bet
and
some
aren't.
of them. Some of them. I bet you don't know all of them.
No,
I
but
bet we
you
can
have your
surprise
own
some
list.
people. Right. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff we know we should be doing,
right,
but we're not. And we thought we'd kind of dig into that because I think it's an interesting conversation. Why aren't we? And I know part of it is we're afraid of it, or in one way or another, it makes us uncomfortable.
Right.
It's
it
something
causes
we're
anxiety.
Right. We're not sure how to do it. We're
money.
afraid it's going to be expensive. All kinds of different things. But at the core, it's fear on one level or another. I was just talking to somebody about some problems I had with items. There's somebody else I talked to about my normal problems, but with some products that I bought and just some problems I ran into and how I ended up Googling and going online and trying to figure out why is this making this sound, and I had to describe the sound in Google, which was fun.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
And then I got an answer, and a couple of the different things suggested, okay, look at this, look at that. I started tearing the piece apart, the equipment apart, and I found, yes, exactly, that's the problem. And ordered
you
the parts.
largely fixed it, right?
I did fix it. That was my lawnmower. I got it fixed. Everything's good to go. And I was saying that, and it was such a fun thing to learn about and figure out how these pieces worked.
And it's so satisfying once you have fixed it.
And the person I was telling it to said, yeah, well, you're handy. And I just want to laugh because anybody who's listened on the show, I think I'm handy in a way.
You're handy. You're handy because you jump in and just do it. I mean, that's the difference.
It's my superpower. I'm not always good at it.
Right.
And there's sometimes a lot of misery along the way.
Like maybe I should have hired someone to do this.
Yes. But I know myself. I know what is too far.
Right.
And I know what's within my reach. And I am willing to try. And the main reason I'm willing is because I'm cheap. That's really what it all boils down to.
Exactly. I think I'm the same way. I think that is 100% why I do so many things myself, is because I just don't want to spend the money on paying someone else to do it.
It can be so expensive to get people out there, and my big concern is to bring somebody out there. I've had it before, where I bring somebody out or I bring a car in and, well, did you think to put gas in it? Or did you think, oh, that's why it had to be towed here? It all makes sense now. It all comes together. I hate to do something stupid like that where there was an easy fix. So I dig into it, and I normally find out that it's not some ridiculous easy fix, but I find out that this fix that I would have thought was really complicated doesn't look as complicated as I thought.
Right.
And I don't need the specialty tools that I maybe thought for whatever project it is. And, I could get the part. And I find myself jumping in because it's going to cost me $60 if I can do it.
Right.
$360 if I have to pay it done. And I've learned so much. It's been fun along the way. So when this person said that, I was making the argument that, no, I think everybody potentially can be handy. Honestly, if I can be considered handy, and this is not false, what is that word? False humility.
Sure, yeah.
This is real.
This is real.
If I can be considered handy, other people can get there too. Most everybody can get there.
Well, I think that's the thing. You can get there. Like, no one's born with, all of this expertise. They don't just come out of the womb, knowing how to fix a car. They learned that stuff. We all have to take the time to find the information, understand certain things, and that skill set grows over time. That's the key here, is just time
and effort.
Right.
It never happens if you don't try to do it and put the time in. So let's talk about, there's that. But why am I still not doing projects? There's still projects that I don't do. There's projects you don't do. Talk about a couple of them that you maybe haven't tackled or that you decided to jump into.
Yeah, okay.
How you did it and what happened when you did.
Last night, this isn't even a project. This is beyond stupid.
Oh boy.
And I would consider myself a handy person, and a handy person isn't required when doing what I'm about to tell you I did. I attached the hose to the sprinkler.
Yeah,
That's
I would
it.
definitely. Yeah.
I
Haley's
was
getting
avoiding this.
a participation ribbon for...
Yes.
Why in the world?
I was avoiding it.
Why?
I was afraid that it was going to be broken.
The sprinkler?
Yeah. I just had
This
it
was
in
a
my
sprinkler
head.
left over at your new house?
Right.
Or you brought it? Okay, so it's a new sprinkler
so
to
I
you.
inherited the sprinkler, and I was kind of excited at first when I first saw that, when we moved in the fall. And then it just sat outside because I forgot about it, and then I felt bad about that.
Feels like a
And
children's
then-
story. The sad sprinkler.
The sad sprinkler, yeah. I think I felt a little sorry for it. But then I've just been literally avoiding it because I don't want to find out that I'm going to have to go buy a new sprinkler, I think.
They're not expensive.
I
Haley.
know. But it's all of this like anxiety
Yep.
that I've built up in my head that's totally ridiculous. None of it's sane. I know it's not.
So last night you screwed up your courage.
Yeah.
You stepped to the brink.
Yep.
In your right hand, you held the garden hose. In your left, this sad sprinkler. And somehow you connected the two.
I did, and
then-
it worked.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
That really is.
It's ridiculous,
That is-
but like that's the level at which I think that we are stopped sometimes. Like it could be as big as repainting cabinets. It could be as small as watering the lawn.
Yeah, I completely get it. I have every year I have the sprinkler system winterized. And then starting it up in the spring is one of those I drag my feet on because I never remember exactly what I'm supposed to do. You know, I always figure it out in the end, but it's always miserable.
Yeah.
Water's everywhere. I'm
Yeah.
soaked. There's tension. Is it going to start this time? I always go down a million possibilities where this is the one.
Yep.
It's over.
Yep.
And I need a new house. You know, I always go to the extremes. And I hate that job. Or I hate hooking up the drip system. I was telling you about that before we went on air, where I have a little timer to run off the pump and to power
Right.
this drip system for all my flowers. And figuring out that timer, it's just complicated. It's easy in the end.
Right.
I can
It's
always
not like
remember it.
actually difficult. It just is the time and the anxiety and like the frustration.
And it's crazy that if we have anxiety over little crazy stupid things like that, I know that this stuff piles up over big projects, like you mentioned, painting cabinets or
Right.
something. And the problem with it, you know, in one sense, maybe there's no problem, you know, so I'm not doing it. So what am I out? Well, what you're out is the experience of enjoying, let's talk about cabinets, your kitchen. I am in this exact boat right now, and it's
Yeah, I am
utterly,
too, actually.
utterly ridiculous. I work at RepcoLite.
Yeah.
This is something I should be just jumping right into, but I'm tired. I just don't feel like it. And what happens is over time, I've been in the house 8 years now, 9
Yeah.
years. It's that charter oak is the color that we used to sell at RepcoLite. It's that orangish 80s, 90s oak.
Yes.
The kitchen cabinets are that. I didn't like it the moment we moved in. I don't like it now.
And that was 8 years ago.
8 years ago, I have lived with it. And the problem that I think is frustrating, or interesting, I guess. It's frustrating, but it's more interesting than anything else.
Yeah.
When I first was living through this, it was really noticeably annoying to me that I didn't like these cabinets. Got to fix this. I don't like my kitchen. Well, I've kind of come to accept it. Now, I've not accepted the oak. I've accepted the fact that I don't like my kitchen. And that's really, really a bad
Yeah.
place to be because
Isn't that
honestly,
interesting?
Well, it's depressing, even though it's not overtly depressing.
Yeah,
you know.
it's like this subtle, like low-level despair.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the time. And if I would just jump in, I know that it's going to start to improve and I'll get through it. I'd had that with a table in the garage. This is another stupid example. A huge table, kitchen table, I replaced. I got a new one. And this old one, I was going to bring to the thrift store, you know,
Sure.
and drop it off. But then I thought nobody's going to want it. It's not in great shape. I don't know what I was thinking. It's a thrift store. They'll take it. But I was thinking maybe not.
They're going to judge you.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I thought it's so huge and bulky. Maybe nobody wants that in their showroom, you know? And so it sat in my garage. Well, it sat in the garage for a long time, you know, probably before Christmas. And I finally got rid of it this past weekend. It sat all that time. It took
my
up all
gosh.
that space.
Yeah, because you have a one-stall garage, so that's a ton of space that's being taken up.
Nothing else could be in, you know, between that and the lawnmowers.
Right.
That's who gets to be in my garage. And it was such a pain. But it was this little nagging thing. And all the rigmarole of getting it there, you know, I thought they're going to reject me.
Yeah.
I clearly got rejection issues. I'm going to talk to my therapist about that next time I'm there. But I didn't want to be rejected at the thrift store. I mean, that's the ultimate of rejection.
Yeah, no, it is.
But I pictured that. I pictured the mess of getting it out of the garage, all the work involved, and I kept putting it off. But
Is
it was
it
like,
going to fit in the truck?
right.
Yeah.
All of these little pebbles that piled up on my back, let's say, became really weighty over time. And finally, this past weekend, in the midst of doing other things, I kept thinking, I had an argument with myself. You're procrastinating on this table.
Yeah.
Just get it out there. And so I reached out to my son, can you come and help me? And by then the wheels were in motion.
So you couldn't stop it.
And I couldn't stop it. And I got moving through it. And the weight that's lifted when I dropped that thing off. And they said, wow, look at this table. It's amazing.
Yeah, they were so excited for
I know.
it.
I'm showing them how it works. I was all excited. You had that with your garage. You've got this huge garage project.
Yeah,
and it piles on your shoulders.
Finish the garage. It's a 2-car garage. It's detached, and it's completely unfinished right now, right? There is no insulation. It's just the wood, walls, studs, ceiling rafters, concrete floor. Just, it's an old garage. And I want to turn it into a studio space for my art / gallery to be able to show my art. And it's a big deal. I'm really excited for this project. It was like one of the motivating factors in buying a house, but it's also been a huge fear.
Yeah.
Because it's huge. That's a huge thing.
And you jumped into it this weekend. Finally, this past weekend.
Finally. I've been putting this off and thinking like, well, I'm just in the planning stages, which was like a half truth, right?
It's a trick that our brain plays.
Exactly.
We'll just stay in that planning stage. It's the fear that you got to overcome. And honestly, what we found with both of these little projects, with any project, it's getting into it. And once you get into it, you find it's not nearly as bad as you probably thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
The answers start to come. You start to see how things work.
Well, right. Because as soon as I got in there and started cleaning it out this weekend, like really cleaning it, getting all the dust and the cobwebs out and washing the floors and everything, like I start to have a little bit of ownership of that space too, ownership of the project. Like, okay, I'm in it now. I've got some momentum. I can see how things are going to happen. Yeah, it's just such a difference.
Right. If you've got projects like that, whatever it looks like, if it's painting your kitchen cabinets, if it's doing some repair work on the car. Now, of course, there are limits to what we can and should do, but a lot of these projects can be tackled around the house. Talk to the experts at any RepcoLite or Port City Paints. Will walk you through whatever project and get you the info you need. The people when I had my lawnmower that needed to be fixed, I got the parts from a local place, and they walked me through a few of the little, when I put it back together, make sure you do these things.
Right.
The experts want to share that info. You can become more handy than you think you already are.
Absolutely.
You just got to jump in and start asking questions. And if those projects are piling up, the biggest solution to getting through them is to just take that first step and start.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about curb appeal projects that maybe you're thinking about doing, maybe you know you should do, or maybe we're going to add more to your list. That's all just ahead. Stay tuned.
If you want to take your DIY skills up a rung, the RepcoLite Home Improvement Show is here to give you a boost.
Well, Haley, we're back, and we promised at the end of last segment that we were going to give out all kinds of jobs for people to do, and I've thought about this. We can't do that.
Yeah, it's Father's Day weekend.
Right. The premier weekend of the year. We can't give out jobs for dads to do.
Should be, maybe this is another Father's Day present segment, actually. It could be all the jobs that children should do for their dads on Father's Day.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we could go that route. That's definitely a way to go. I don't know if I'd let my kids do some of these, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have standards, and I want those standards to be met. No, I think what this is going to be more about if you feel like doing these things, you go for it. It's how this country works. But if you don't want to, maybe just use this as a list to kind of get your brain going and see if maybe these are things you need to do around your house. When we're done, you could go outside, take a look at the house based on what we talked about, because a lot of these things we can forget about them and overlook them with our own space. If you don't want to go outside because it's too warm, you could always send out a child with a camera. They can text you pictures of the exterior.
So they can't do the work, but they can at least document ahead of time.
They can text you those pictures. And from air-conditioned comfort, you can examine your house from the outside, from the inside.
That's
there you go.
Technology for you.
So, yes, we want to talk about curb appeal. Like we said, these things can be things we overlook. We get used to living in a space, and we just don't see this stuff.
Yeah, we're house blind.
So try to look at your house from the outside as if it's not your house. Be a little more critical. and you're going to see some stuff and maybe want to jump into some projects. Now, before we get to listing off a few of the places, some key areas to look, I think we should address the whole idea of why curb appeal is even important in the first place.
Well, right. I think that we have the idea that it's for other people. And it could be, if you're selling your house, then that's really important. That's the first impression. But it's also just really important for you and your own personal satisfaction and happiness when you're driving up to your house after work. There's just a nice look at that.
No, I know that. I think that sounds crazy. I think there's certain people that completely get it. There's other people that think, I don't care. I really think there's something psychological that we may not even clue into, but when we feel better about our space, we're more likely to take better care of it yet.
Right.
And all of these things work in our benefit. So curb appeal stuff is important. And let's just focus on a few areas, some key spots to consider and check out. And I think the first one would be the big one, and it's the front door.
Yeah, we talk about this every year, when it becomes exterior painting season. The front door is such an easy project to tackle in just a day, and it's a huge impact.
Right. It's the thing that everybody's eye is drawn to when you look at a house. So check out your front door. Is it the right color for the house? That's a question. How's the paint holding up? Is it fading? Should it be spruced up in that regard? Is it chipping and peeling? There are easy solutions, really, for all of those problems. And like Haley mentioned, it's a half a day project. It's a quick project. It's a quart of paint in most situations.
It's a pretty low investment, honestly.
Yeah, definitely a huge, huge impact with that. So check out the front door. While you're doing that, look at that whole entry area or whatever that is called. I'm not talking inside, I'm talking outside.
Yeah, and whether you have just a landing there or a front porch that's big and nice, whatever it is, you've got some area surrounding the front door. And probably there's some cobwebs or dust or leaves that have built up over time.
Dead flies. A couple of raccoons that never made it out of last fall.
Actually,
you have a dead raccoon right by your front door?
I have a dead bird. I didn't realize.
Oh
I never used the front door. This is terrible.
Well, Haley is proving our point.
Exactly. I had a dead baby bird on the sidewalk leading right up to the front door. I have no idea how long it's been there. I was, out mowing the lawn with my husband the other night and saw it and realized, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing.
Yeah, that's not cool. Guests don't want to see that. So clean that stuff out. Check it out. So front door. That landing area. How about landscaping? That's a big one for me. I always notice that landscaping that's overgrown, even if it's flowers and not just weeds.
Sure.
But some of that stuff can get out of control, bushes and stuff, and really the overall impression is kind of one of neglect.
Yes.
And it can make the home seem like it's not as cared for. So cut it back, bring it under control. It's an inexpensive. Really, it doesn't get much more inexpensive when it comes to projects like.
No, it's just your labor.
It's just labor.
Yeah.
And yes, some days are better than others to get out there and do it.
Yeah.
But it's going to have a huge impact on the home and how you feel about it. So check that out. Landscaping, cleaning the house. The siding itself can really get bad. And we walked around the neighborhood. We talked about that.
Right.
And pointed out certain houses, and some of the siding looked really bad. But when you dig into it and look at it, it really just needs good cleaning.
Yeah, it's not that the siding needs to be replaced or even repainted. We have that all the time with people coming into the stores thinking that they're going to repaint their house. We tell them to clean the house first. They come back in and realize they didn't need to repaint it at all. It was just dirty.
Right. Mine can definitely benefit from this. I need to get on it. We sell Joe Max. It's a great cleaner. If you do have mold or mildew or stuff like that, you would add a little bit of bleach to it. There's some other precautions to take. We would walk you through all of that, but relatively simple project. It's not terribly fun.
It could be.
Right. I guess it could be, but that's not really what this is all about. It's not my job to create fun projects for the outdoors.
Work.
Right. But it will have a huge impact. Definitely think about that. You really just need the Joe Max, maybe a good soft bristled brush, and a power washer or something.
Right.
If you do snag a power washer, maybe it's time to clean the sidewalks, maybe the driveway. That would be a great little project.
Yeah, any of that concrete that starts to get a little bit stained over time, we don't really realize it until it's clean. Then we think, oh my gosh, that was filthy.
Yeah, definitely something to do. One last thing, check out your front porch. Same concept as we mentioned with the doors. What does that area look like? We're going to dig into a few more of these next week when we've got more time. I really want to focus on the front porch because I think we've got some cool ideas to turn that into a really, really usable and inviting space.
Absolutely.
We're going to get to that next week. But now we've got to wrap it up. If you want to catch this one again, you can find it online at RepcoLite.com. Whatever you do today, make sure paint's a part of it. The RepcoLite and Port City paint stores are open until 3, waiting to help. All dads out there, have a great Father's Day. I'm Dan Hansen.
I'm Haley Johnson. Thanks for listening.